Welcome to my channel. So in this video, we are going to see the important topic. It is said to be a single tuned circuit. Okay. So first, tuned circuit. So what is mean by tuned circuit means this tuned circuit is mainly used in RF circuits. Okay. That is in the receiver, in radio receiver and TV receiver, we are using this tuned circuit. And why we are using this tuned circuit means in order to obtain the maximum power, okay, maximum power transfer to the load, we are using this tuned circuit in order to connect the source to the load. Okay, so in order to connect one source to particular load, to obtain the maximum power transfer in between the source and load, we are connecting this tuned circuit. Okay, so there are two types of tuned circuit is there. One is single tuned circuit, another one is double tuned circuit. Okay, so first in this video we are going to see the single tuned circuit. Okay, so what is single tuned circuit means? This circuit, it is tuned to one particular frequency. Okay, it is called as a single tuned circuit. So let us see, this is the diagram of this single tuned circuit. So in the single tuned circuit, we are having the two things. So this is the primary thing, and this is another one is a secondary circuit. So in the primary circuit, one inductor, the primary winding inductor L1 is connected with the series resistance R1 and with the voltage source V. Okay, so this is the externally applied voltage source. And in the secondary winding, we are connecting one more inductor L2 in series with the resistor R2 with one capacitor. Okay, capacitor C2 we are connecting. So this capacitor we are always selecting as a variable capacitor. Okay, so this capacitor and inductor, it is used as a tuning section. Okay, so the value of the inductor and capacitor, it is choosing the desired frequency of the particular output. So here the output we are taking, okay, the output we are taking across the capacitor C2. So the voltage across the capacitor C2 is said to be the output voltage. So here it is a secondary voltage. That's why we are mentioning it as a V2. Okay, so either V2 we can mention or V0 we can mention it as an output. Okay, and in this thing, so here these two inductors, okay, the primary and secondary windings are very closed together. Okay, that's why there is a mutual inductance between these two coil. Okay, these two coil. So now our aim is to prove what is the maximum voltage. That is the maximum voltage is appearing across this capacitor C2 we are going to prove. So what is the output voltage of this single tuned circuit means? The output voltage V2 can be written as, it is a voltage across the capacitor. So the current flowing through this secondary loop we are considering as a I2. But what is the voltage across the capacitor? It is a product of this current into its reactance. So what is the reactance of that capacitor? 1 by j omega C2. Okay. So 1 divided by j. Okay. 1 by j, it can be written as minus j by omega C2. Okay. Into the current I2. So you just consider this is the equation number 1. Okay. So our aim is to derive the output voltage produced by the single tuned circuit. Okay. So this is the output voltage of the single tuned circuit. But in this equation, so we are having one variable I2. So what is I2? I2 is a current flowing in the secondary loop. Okay. So now using that is a conductively coupled method and KVL equation or mesh analysis, we have to convert this current I2. Okay. That is the next step. Okay. So the first one. So these the given single tuned circuit, it is not a conductively coupled circuit. It is a magnetically coupled circuit. Okay, since this is the primary side, this is the secondary side. So the two loops are not connected directly. Okay, these two inductors are that is placed very close together. Because of this one, these two circuits are magnetically coupled. Okay, so now we are going to convert this magnetically coupled circuit into conductively coupled circuit. Okay, so already we discussed in the previous video session how to convert one magnetically coupled circuit into conductively coupled circuit. Okay, already we discussed. So in this thing, we have to convert this magnetically coupled circuit into conductively coupled circuit. But conductively coupled circuit means both the loops are connected together. Okay, both the loops are connected together means it is a conductively coupled circuit. But in this thing, in the primary side, we are having the voltage source, the resistance R1, and the inductor value is the inductor. Instead of this L1 we have to put L1 minus M. Okay, L1 minus M, and in the secondary side L2 minus M with the resistance R2, and in between the two loop we have to connect the mutual inductance M. Okay, and in the output side we have to use one capacitor C2. Okay, one capacitor C2. So but these two circuits are connected. Okay, so we have to put the values. So in primary side L1 minus M, in secondary side L2 minus M, in between the two loop we have to put the mutual inductance M. Okay, this is the case. But now you just consider current flowing in the first loop is I1, current flowing in the second loop is I2. Okay, so now our aim is to find out the voltage V2. Okay, in order to find out the V2, we have to find out the value of I2. Okay, so what is the next step means we have to apply KVL to input loop. So if you are applying KVL to input loop, you know V equal to R1 into I1 plus what is the reactance of this inductor? J omega L1 minus M into I1. Then what is the reactance of this mutual inductance M? J omega M into what is the current flowing through this mutual inductance? The current I1 minus I2. Okay, current I1 minus I2. Okay, okay. Then you just split the terms. So there are 4 I1 terms are there, 1 I2 term is there. But here this plus j omega m minus j omega m cancelled. So now we will get V equal to I1 into R1 plus j omega L1 minus j omega m into I2. So this is the equation number 2. You just consider. Okay. Similarly, we have to apply Kirchhoff's voltage law to the second loop. But for the second loop, there are no external sources there. Okay. So all components are the reactive components. But what is the voltage drop across this inductor? J omega L2 minus M into I2. Then what is the voltage drop across R2? R2 into I2. Then the voltage across the capacitor is actually 1 by J. The 1 by J can be written as minus J by omega C2 into I2. Then the mutual inductance reactance is J omega M into I2 minus I1 equal to 0. Okay, but from this thing you just split the terms. So you collect only one I1 term and there are 5 I2 terms. Okay. But in this thing, similarly, this minus j omega m plus j omega m gets cancelled. So but now we will get this equation. Okay. And in this two thing, we have to take j as a common. We have to write omega L2 minus 1 by omega C2. Okay, which is equal to 0. Okay, this is the equation number 3. Okay, so from this equation number 2 and 3, our aim is to find out the value of I2. Okay, so either we may use the matrix method or substitution method, we may calculate the value of I2. Okay, so here I am using the method, it is called as a substitution method. But how to calculate the I2? Okay, this is one equation in terms of I1, I2. This is one equation in terms of I1, I2. But from this third equation, I am going to calculate the value of I1 in terms of I2. But from this, you keep this I1 term one side, I2 term another one side. But from this, the I1 can be calculated as like this. Okay. So then next, this I1 value you just consider as a equation number 4. Okay. Then you just substitute this I1 value in this equation number 2. Okay. In equation number 2, we get V equal to that value, okay, that I1 value into I2 minus j omega m into I2. So in this these two terms, you have to take I2 as a common. Okay, you take I2 as a common and you just take LCM. So for this term, so we will get this one. Okay, from this, what is our aim? Our aim is to find out I2. But from this, the I2 can be written as this j omega m multiplied with this V divided by this one. Okay, so this is the value of the current I2. Okay, so here you just rearrange the term. So how to rearrange means the I2 can be written as, so in the denominator, numerator only one term is there. In denominator, first the constant R1, R2. Okay, then plus omega squared m squared. Okay, then this one. Okay, these two terms are imaginary part. The remaining 3 terms are real part. Okay, you just write first real part. Okay, real part. Then you just write the imaginary part. So what about the imaginary part? So here j into omega L1 R2 and here j into R1 omega L2 minus 1 by omega C2. Okay, so this is the value of I2. Okay, and the next one, so already you know that is as per the maximum power transfer theorem, the maximum power, okay, delivered to the load. Here, which one is a load? The capacitor C2 is called as the load. Okay, voltage across the capacitor, it is said to be the output voltage. Okay, so but what does the thing means? The maximum voltage we will get at the output whenever this current, this secondary current, it should be large. Okay, so maximum power, when we are getting maximum power means the power is nothing but voltage into current. Okay, so when the currents is squared, okay, the secondary current I2 squared into RL we can write. Okay, so we have to obtain the maximum secondary voltage. We will the value of this I2, it should be large. Okay, so in order to find out, we have to find out the condition at which this current I2, it will get a maximum value. Okay, maximum value. But we have to, this is I2 equation. So you studied in max itself, that is this function, it will get maximum value in which condition we have to find out. But you see this equation, in this equation this I2 will get the maximum value whenever this imaginary part, okay, whenever this imaginary part, it tends to be 0. Okay, you see this part, if this imaginary part is tends to be 0 means this I2, it will get a maximum value. Okay, but from this you just equate this imaginary part, omega L1 R2 plus R1 into omega L2 minus 1 by omega C2, which is equal to 0. So from this thing we can obtain the value of 1 by omega C2. That is, we are going to find in for what value of the capacitor C2 we will get the maximum current. Okay, since the capacitor C2 is a load here. Okay, but from this you just find out the value of C2. So from this 1 by omega C2 equal to this one. Okay, and the resistor, okay, the resistor R1, R2 we are using in, R1 is used in input side and R2 is used in output side. So usually this source resistance R1 is always very, very greater than R2. But whenever the value of R1 is very, very greater than R2, you see this equation over here, the denominator, the numerator part is very less when compared to the denominator part. But what about this term? This term, it gets this product value is always very, very lesser than 1. Okay, if this equation number 6, it can be simplified as 1 by C2 equal to omega L2. Okay, since the R2 is very, very less when compared to R1, this part is eliminated. Okay, so this is the condition for maximum current. Okay, so what is the condition for maximum current? The reactance of the capacitor C2, it is always equal to the reactance of the secondary inductance. Okay, this is the condition in order to get the maximum current. Okay, but now you substitute this condition in the I2 equation. Okay, this is the equation number 5. If you are substituting that omega L2 equal to omega C2 in this equation number 5, what about this imaginary part? This imaginary part tends to be 0. And in the remaining term, so we have to write the I2 max equal to j omega m v divided by R1 R2 plus omega squared m squared minus omega squared L1 L2 plus L1 divided by C2. Okay, this is the maximum current flowing in the single tuned circuit. Okay, this is the case, and in this thing we have to substitute this condition. In this condition, 1 by omega C2 equal to omega L2. From this 1 by C2, it can be written as omega squared L2. Instead of this C2 term, okay, you see in denominator 1 C2 is there. 1 divided by C2, we have to put omega squared L2. Okay, if we are substituting, we will get, we convert this L1 divided by C2 term into like this. Now this minus omega squared L1 L2 plus omega squared L1 L2 gets cancelled. But now we get the simplified expression, the I2 max equal to j omega m into v divided by R1 R2 plus omega squared m squared. So this is the maximum secondary current flowing in the secondary loop. Okay, but from this, if we want to find out the maximum secondary voltage, okay, what is the maximum secondary voltage? Voltage across the capacitor C2. Okay, this is the equation number 1. If you are substituting this I2 max in the equation number 1, we will get voltage across the secondary loop is nothing but minus j omega C2 into I2 max. So you just substitute the I2 max value here. Okay, but here this j into j, if you are multiplying j squared, what is the value of j squared? Minus 1. So minus of minus plus. Okay, so then we will get the V2 formula is like this. So this is the maximum secondary voltage of the single tuned circuit. Okay, of the single tuned circuit. And the next one, if we want to that is what is we in order to derive the condition at which the maximum voltage will get. Okay, so in for what condition this voltage get the maximum value means this omega m value. Okay, the omega m value, it should be equal to the square root of r1 and r2. Okay, but this condition, this is called as critical coupling. So the value of K, the coefficient of coupling K equal to the mutual inductance divided by square root of L1 and L2. Okay, so for in order to derive the critical coupling coefficient, so that is during this critical coupling, the coefficient K, it tends to be Kc. Okay, so now we have to substitute the value of M. So what is the condition for critical coupling? Omega M equal to square root of R1 and R2. But from this, what is the value of M? The M can be written as square root of R1, R2 divided by omega. So if you are substituting that M value in this K equation, we will get the Kc as like this. Okay, so this is the critical coupling coefficient. Okay, so under this critical coupling coefficient, the voltage, this voltage V2, it can be written as, you see, the V2 equal to omega squared M L2 V divided by R1 R2 plus omega squared M squared. And already you know the omega M value is always equal to square root of R1 R2. But that's why the denominator, it can be written as that is 2 Kc, and the numerator, it can be written as V into square root of L2 by L1. Okay, so this is the output voltage of the single tuned circuit under the condition of critical coupling. Okay, so this is the graph. So this graph, it shows the variation of the secondary voltage. Okay, variation of secondary voltage with respect to the frequency for different value of the critical, different value of the coefficient. Okay, coefficient. So here you see, this is for the k equal to k1, and the center graph, it shows for the value of k equal to k2 and k equal to k3. Okay, here the k1 value, okay, this graph, it will give the value of k is very large when compared to the inner graph. So depending upon the coefficient of coupling, so we will get the secondary voltage with respect to this frequency. And you know, the single tuned circuit means, you know, at the resonant frequency, we will get the maximum secondary voltage. So before the resonant frequency and above resonant frequency, what about the voltage? That voltage, it will be increasing and decreasing. At only one frequency, that a tuned frequency, we will get the maximum voltage. Okay, so this is said to be the single tuned circuit. Okay, and we are going to see the problem related to this single tuned circuit. Okay, so mostly this derivation and this problem, it will combinedly, they will ask for 13-mark question. So it's a simple problem only. So you see the problem, consider the single tuned circuits shown below and determine the resonant frequency, output voltage at resonance, Okay, two things they are asking. And assume this Rs. Okay, Rs is the source resistance. Okay, the source resistance value, it is very, very greater than omega R into L2. Okay, here the one condition is given. And the coefficient of coupling K, it is given as a 0.9. So you see the diagram. So this is a single tuned circuit. But in the single tuned circuit, that is the load is said to be in the secondary loop. We are using one inductor and one capacitor. This capacitor is said to be the load. Voltage across this capacitor, it is called as a V0. Okay, this capacitor is producing, it is used to tune the particular frequency. Okay, so first we have to write down the value. What is the value of L1? 1 microhenry. What is the value of L2? 100 microhenry. And the resistance R1 and R2, it is given as 10 ohms. And the voltage is given as a 15 volt. Okay, so what is our question means? Two things. One is resonant frequency, another one is output voltage. So already you know the formula for the resonant voltage. What is the resonant frequency of our LC circuit? That is you calculate either radians per second, that is omega naught or F naught. So F naught means F naught is equal to 1 by 2 pi square root of L2 into C2. That is the inductance used in the secondary winding and capacitance used in the secondary winding. So depending upon the value of L2, C2 only, the resonant frequency will be there. So substitute the value of L2 and C2. What is L2? In the given diagram, what is L2? 100 microhenry. So micro means 10 to the power minus 6. So 100 into 10 to the power minus 6. Similarly, and the capacitor C2 is 0.1 microfarad. So 0.1 into 10 to the power minus 6. So we may substitute the value of L2 and C2 and find out the answer. Okay, this is the resonant frequency in hertz. Okay, so we will get 50.32 kilohertz. Okay, and if we want to find out the resonant frequency in radians, means you just multiply this f naught by 2 pi. So omega naught equal to 2 pi f naught. So you just multiply this f naught value with the 2 pi, we will get the answer in radians. Okay, so one thing we calculated. And the second question is we have to find the output voltage at the resonance. Okay, so from the previous derivation, so we know the output voltage. Output voltage is nothing but either V2 or V0. We can write. So what is the output voltage formula? The V0 is equal to M into V1 divided by C2 into omega naught squared M squared plus R1 and R2. So here the question is we have to find the output voltage at the resonance frequency. So instead of this omega, we have to put omega naught squared. Okay. So substitute the thing. So C2 in the problem itself, C2 value is given, V1 is given. Omega naught we calculated, R1 given, R2 given. So what about M? So M is a mutual inductance. So we have to calculate the value of mutual inductance. So already you know the formula for the mutual inductance. What is mutual inductance? M is equal to K into square root of L1, L2, where K is the coefficient of coupling. L1 and L2 is the primary coil and secondary coil inductance value. So you just substitute the values. K is given as 0.9. L1 is 1 microhenry, L2 is 100 microhenry. So you just substitute and find out the answer for 9 microhenry. Okay, and substitute the value of M and remaining thing in this equation. So we will get V0 equal to 12.488 volt. Okay, so this is the output voltage obtained across the capacitor C2. Okay, so 15 volt we are applying here. Okay, so 15 volt is applied in the primary side. So because of this tuning, we will get voltage, the maximum output voltage across this capacitor, we will get it as a 12.488 volt. Okay, so this is the answer. So this is the problem related to the single tune circuit. Okay, thank you.